Hello my fellow Jeti users, welcome to episode 2 of the twin rudder with rudder speed brake. In episode 1 we saw that there is a little bit of a problem when you have to have twin rudders with a delta model because the Jeti basic setup doesn't allow for twin fin. And so we made a mixer from rudder to the rud2 function, and then we mixed the speed brake to rudder and speed brake to rudder 2, so a total of 3 mixers. Surely Jeti must allow a way of cascading mixers so that we don't need to create the separate brake to rud 2 mix. We would just run straight through the brake to rud mix from there through to the rud to rud 2 mix. Yes, it does, and that's what we're going to look at in this video. And so you learn a bit about cascading mixers whenever you need to do that. So if we go into free mixes, if you remember, in episode 1, we set up this. We have rudder to rud 2 so that we get the rudder stick and trims working. We have the brake to rudder mixer, but in episode 1 we also had a brake to rud 2 mix so that we could get the brake mixing. But we're going to do it here just by cascading the brake to rudder through to the rudder to rud 2 mix. And the way we do that is we go in here. First of all, the brake to rudder mix, we edit that, and we come down to these master and slave links. And you'd think this one would be the master because this is the first one in the mixer, but actually in this we enable the slave link. What we're saying is allow the mix from this to go further on to the next slave. So we press the button, and as you can see it switches on and comes up with a plus sign. If we press it again, it stays switched on with a negative sign, so it would reverse the mix going through the mixer. Press the button again, you're back to off. So let's just pick that to start with, because that's the first option we've come to, and we'll see that that doesn't quite do what we want, so we'll come back to it. We'll see the effect of this. That's important. So we say OK to that, and we go to the next one, the mixer we're mixing down to, and which bizarrely in Jeti's language becomes the master link. It feels the wrong way around to me, but it means take it from the master. So in the other mixer, the first one, we enable the slave link. This one we enable the master link, and it's much the same. Press the button, you get switched on with a plus, switched on with a minus, off. So we'll switch it on with a plus. Say OK to that. In fact, we needn't do that for the moment. We'll just go and have a look at the servo output. So I'll move the rudder stick. And there we are. There's the 60% rudder travel. Do our trims still work? Yes, they do. So the rudder's behaving properly. Now I shall move the brake lever. Hurrah! Both of them are moving. But see, of course, the rudder on the right is moving the wrong way. It needs to move left. Yeah? Okay. How do we solve that? Say OK to this. Could it be that we need to make the master link here negative so that it inverts the signal coming from the other one? No. Let's have a look at what happens if we do. Invert that. If I move the brake, that appears to work. Yippee, we've solved it. But watch what happens when I move the rudder stick. Oh dear, they're going in opposite directions. So we've solved it for the brake, but we've reversed the rudder mix. So let's go back here and set that back to master link is on, but positive. Yeah, so at least now the rudder stick works properly. What we need to do is reverse the slave link. Press the button again, we get reversed. Let's have a look. Now, if I move the rudders, are they working the right way? Yes, good. Trims work? Yes, good. Now, the big test. I'm going to move the brake lever. Will both of them move inwards together? Yes, they do. Lovely. And then I can move my rudder, and that works. So there you go. There's cascading the mixers without having to create a second mixer. But some people find you get lost in the, oh God, what's a slave, what's a master? If you find that, there is nothing wrong with doing it the way we did in episode 1, which is to create another mixer simply from brake to rud 2. It's just 2 different ways of getting the same outcome. Choose which your brain feels happier operating. Bye for now.